audio going to ATEM? Because I get it on Cozy, but no audio on. Oh.
On YouTube?
Hot mic.
Amazing! Amazing!
got to stand up strong. Think the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. It's Friday, the end of the work week for some people, but not all, not all, not all, not all. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week. The biblical question. What is real reality? What is real reality? That is my biblical question for this week. What is real reality? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about doing whatever it is that you're doing, you can listen to the show. You can podcast later, but you don't have to stop what you're doing right now. You can listen while you're doing what you're doing, what you're doing, what you're doing by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. Amazing, huh? And don't forget to follow us, cozy.tv/JLP, cozy.tv/JLP, and JLP Talk on X. JLP Talk on X. And you can have your comments read out loud by going to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, rebuildingtheman.com, and Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. All right? So, it is Friday again. Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
Most civilized people are out of touch with reality because they confuse the world as it is with the world as they think about it.
Looting at several popular stores in Center City and more looting here in Port Richmond.
For on the one hand, there is the real world, and on the other, a whole system of symbols about that world which we have in our minds.
There's only one thing that would stop our children from busting into these liquor stores and grocery stores, stealing junk food and stealing different things, and that's reparations.
What the? Oh, my God. Reparation. So they're stealing, the blacks are stealing cell phones and refrigerators and microwaves and alcohol because they're hungry and they want reparations. They're going to eat those things. What a lie. What a lie. You know, I was reflecting this morning because there was another riot in Philadelphia 2 nights ago, I believe. And they were stealing liquor and cell phone, the blacks. The blacks were stealing liquor and cell phones and all kind of stuff. And I just wondered, it's amazing to me that other evil people are using evil people, the blacks, to destroy themselves and this country. And these people don't see that they're being used because they're caught up in so deep in believing a lie. It's amazing that when you believe a lie, what it can do to you. What it can do to you. And there's nothing or no one can do. There's nothing that anyone or anything can do to make you see the truth. You have to want to see the truth. And that dumb man just stood there on that video and said that these people are hungry and they need reparations. That's the only thing going to stop the stealing. Why would anyone believe that? Everybody knows that that's a lie, right? But the blacks believe it. And not all, but most. They believe it and they go out and steal and rob and fight cops and taking the white man's stuff. And they feel justified because they believed a lie that they need reparation. And the people who are telling them that are just using them for personal gain for themselves. I suggest do what you want, but I suggest that you take control of your life, folks. And it's so different than what you can even ever imagine. And I'm going to it's just nothing like, you saw the introduction of that video there. It's nothing like what's happening in your mind. That's a nice open video. There's another reality. And the one you're living from is not it at all. It only leads to misery and pain. That's all you're going to ever get. All you will ever get is misery as long as you live from the imagination. You're just going around in a circle, and I don't care how many new things you add on or old things you get rid of, as long as you're living in your imagination and your anger, that's all you're going to get is misery. And it's not based on money or anything. All you will ever get is misery. It ain't about your color. It ain't about your status. It's not about what you have or don't have. It's not about being male or female. You're living in darkness. When will you rise above the imagination? It's not about sex. It's not about love. It's about you living in darkness, thinking that you have the answer, and that is you. All ideas and all thoughts must disappear before you can have a life. Really. It's just dumb. Some of you might remember in 2019 when the blacks had the so-called the year of return. The EastAfrican.com, this is from EastAfrican.com, when Ghana declared 2019 the year of the return. It opened the floodgate for African Americans to move back to Africa. Remember that? The blacks were going back home. The blacks were going back home. Breaking news, by the way, CNBC is reporting that Dianne Feinstein has died at 90 years old. Dianne Feinstein has died at 90 years old. She's that female from San Francisco. I think she was like a congressman or senator or something like that out of San Francisco. They are reporting that Dianne Feinstein, she was a senator. She worked as a senator. And she never did retire, did she? Now she leaves that position open. And according to CNBC, she leaves vacancy. Newsom will have to appoint a successor. Will it be another black female, you think? Will it be another black female? What a mess. But anyway, the EastAfrican.com is reporting that when Ghana declared 2019 the year of the return, y'all come on back home, blacks. Come on back to Africa. And the blacks in their blindness, not all, but a lot of them said they going back home. They ain't never seen Africa. They going back home. They return home they call home a place they've never been. And they're returning to a place they've never been. Well, I'm wondering out loud, how did that work out for them? Going back home to mommy Africa. That feels good. It sounds good, huh? Well, mommy Africa. I'm wondering how is that working out for the blacks? Watch this from Backstory Africa. Backstory Africa, watch this.
This video will look at why some African Americans end up returning to the U.S. after making the move to Africa. First up, no jobs. Many African Americans hold the misconception that when they arrive in whichever African country they move to that they'll be able to easily get a job. Unlike the U.S., jobs in most African countries are scarce, with unemployment rates sometimes being as high as 50%. Whoa. Western world conveniences. Only when arriving in Africa do they realize what they've taken for granted. For some folks, not having these Western conveniences is more important than they realized, and before long they start to miss the comforts of American living and end up moving back. Culture. African Americans often erroneously believe that when they move to Africa they'll fit right into the culture like a hand in a glove. Although their ancestors may hail from the African country they have moved to, being so many generations removed from this country means that culturally they have very little in common with these people. Don't be expecting grits and deep-fried chicken in Ghana. There aren't going to be any gospel singers in Senegal. Many people in Africa have never heard of Steve Harvey and don't care. The ones who try and adapt can sometimes make it work, but culture is a complex thing which is hard to articulate into words. Lack of choice. America is perhaps more the land of plenty than the land of the free. You never have a lack of choice when making a decision in America. If you want to book a flight from New York to Los Angeles, you can choose from more than 6 different airlines. In most African countries, you may only have one airline to choose from. If you want to furnish a house or apartment, you have a cornucopia of choice when it comes to sofas, rugs, and tables and chairs. In Africa, this choice will most certainly be more limited. African living has often not met their expectations, and they've ended up moving back to the States.
I rest my case. Just think about this now. Look like you already know this. It's not going to work in Africa. If you can't make it in America, ain't no way in. You're going to make it in Africa. Black people don't build anything. They can't take care of themselves. They're not innovated. They're not motivated. They need the white man. And you think the Africans are trying to move here, and you're going to leave here to go there? Can you be any blinder than that? Just look at the black people they are putting in charge of our country. We now getting an S-hole country because the blacks are being put in control of it. We're getting riots and are begging for reparations and fighting cops and crime and dividing the races and blaming the whites. And how's that going to work? That's what they have in Africa. You got to be out of your mind to think you're going to go to Africa and all going to be well. So they coming back home, the real home. How is that working out in mommy Africa? Y'all still going to act like you're going to Africa? I don't know. I do know. I'm saying I don't know, but I do know. Something happened to the blacks, and I know what it is. 70 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, but definitely then. They have never been able to return to normalcy. They've been whining and begging and blaming and rude and violent and begging and blaming and pointing the finger at the white man. It wasn't like that when I was growing up. It just wasn't that way. I don't care what anyone says. It wasn't that way unless you went to the city like Chicago or somewhere and the blacks were living in the projects because they were offered free stuff and they lost it up there too. The one thing that you can say about the blacks, not all, but most, they are angry and ungrateful. And everybody knows that. Even the blacks who are waking up, they're like, wow, I didn't know that was going on. And they are being used for total destruction, not for the good. Why do you think the liberal whites are pushing the blacks to be a part of government? The police department, because they know that the blacks are going to destroy it. They're going to have no bail bond. They know that once they do that the other blacks are going to go out of control and become very violent. In California, they now have no bail bond. What do you think is going to continue and get worse in California? Violence. This is from NBC. On Tuesday morning, charges were dismissed against a Philadelphia police officer, Mark Dial, who shot and killed a 27-year-old black guy on August 14th. Watch this from X. So this black guy was shot by a cop, but the cops were, according to the report, charges were dismissed. And you know what the blacks did? They didn't know the guy. They could care less about the guy and the cop, but they used that as an opportunity to go steal the white man's stuff. And they call it black excellence. They call it black excellence. And somebody reported that the guy was a Hispanic. I'm not sure was he black or Hispanic, but either way, they still use that as an opportunity to go and steal the white man's stuff and videotape it and put it on YouTube or somewhere. They so proud because that's black excellence. That is black excellence. Whether it's a Hispanic guy or a black guy, they use the opportunity to steal and loot the white man's stuff with no shame, don't care. It's slavery. They ain't hungry. They're hungry to eat a few cell phones. They're hungry. They want some liquor, some alcohol. What a sad way to live. And it's going on from each generation. It's been going on since 70 years ago. Each generation of blacks are just getting worse. And not all, but most. Some are waking up. And we saw that rioting a couple of years ago now, I guess, with the radical socialist communist movement of the Black Lives Matter, right? Where are they now? Oh, they're in government. The Daily Mail is reporting looting rocked Philadelphia for us. Sorry about that. This is from CBS first. Multiple groups of looters hit retail stores and at least one small business in different Philadelphia neighborhoods on Tuesday night. I want you to see black excellence at work. Watch this compilation.
Looting at several popular stores in Center City and more looting here in Port Richmond. Sky Fox over what looks like a discarded merchandise situation all outside of a video game store there and a supermarket. It comes the same day charges were dismissed against a former Philadelphia police officer for fatally shooting a driver during a traffic stop.
There are stores like the Apple Store that were hit by looters.
People grabbed all these expensive Apple products, and then when you steal them out of an Apple store, they instantly don't work, and a camera comes on and a thing tells you, put this back to the Apple Store. So they realized it wasn't working, it was disabled, and they were just dropping them on the street.
Black excellence.
Oh my God!
See how happy they are?
Okay, don't touch him! Oh my God, record this! Record this! Record this! Baby!
Black excellence.
Saw a bunch of people like just go into the Lululemon, clothes everywhere.
What was running through your mind?
I'm sitting by a window. I'm just gonna like look the other way. This is, yeah, it's kind of scary.
Poor white people. They're like, what the? White people just want to have a life. They want to work. They want to go get an education. They love a first-class life. And you got the blacks destroying it because they love a second-class life. And white people, how long will y'all look the other way? How long will you look the other way? How long will you look the other way? And if you think looking the other way going to help the situation, you need to check out Mommy Africa. The white people there looked the other way too, and they gave up South Africa, the city part, the nice white areas up there, or over there, out there, wherever they are, and they moved out to the farmlands. The blacks destroyed the city areas, and now they're going out to the farmlands and robbing and raping and stealing and breaking in and trying to kill the bull, the white man. It ain't going to stop as long as you're looking the other way. Why don't you speak up? You see, these people don't care. They don't act like human beings at all. They act like animals. Wild animals at that. They don't, if you ask, what was the name of the Mexican guy or black guy, whatever color you are, that the police allegedly shot? They wouldn't be able to tell you because it ain't about that. They have no love. They don't care about that. They have been trained for this occasion. They have been trained for destruction. And you don't hear a lot of blacks speaking out against it either. How often do you hear blacks speaking out against this mess? You hear one or two, that's about it. And they laughing and videotaping it and don't choke him, don't choke him, don't choke him. Black excellent at work. I'm so proud of the blacks. Not all, but most. I'm just so proud of y'all. Y'all make me so proud, make me want to grow a fro. So that happened the first night, according to the Daily Mail, looting rocked Philadelphia for a second night as brazen thieves ransacked a liquor store. Watch this from ABC.
Pockets of looting continued at Philadelphia businesses, including a fine wine and good spirits shop in the Crescentville section. Police arrested 2 people near Adams Avenue and East Tabor Road after spotting them loading up a car with liquor. The state store was not boarded up. Police say the 2 thieves were just helping themselves to what was left.
Police are now using this video for evidence. 21-year-old Deja Blackwell, known as Meatball on social media, live streaming Tuesday night, broadcasting what stores and what locations to loot. Now at least 52 people have been arrested, 3 of them juveniles, but mostly adults ranging in age. You see Blackwell crying in her mugshot.
It's just an excuse for them to act up. Like, it don't make no sense. They tearing up, the neighborhoods where we got to shop at and they got to shop at. So, they make it bad for everybody else.
Amazing. They don't care. Black have the attitude, they don't care. It ain't their stuff. And they hungry. And they hungry. They need reparation. And reparation will stop all this. Not getting a job, not becoming responsible for your own stuff, your own life, not acting like you got some sense, but they need reparation. They hungry. They so hungry, they steal cell phones and they videotape it and they laugh and they have fun and they beat up the cop because they ain't hungry. They steal liquor. Y'all give them some reparation. I want to show you this, but I got to take a break, so I guess I'll show it after the break. Do we have time to show this last soundbite? No? Okay. I'll show you this, and then I'll take your phone calls. But I want to show you when I come back to this, and I'm wondering out loud, does anyone really believe they were upset because the charge was dropped? I'll show you that when I come back, and your phone calls and super chats. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. A quick break. Open Line Friday. Spiritual battle. Crazy folks. I'll be back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. Okay, folks, welcome back. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. A few announcements before I go back. Number one, the Hake Report. Busy day today. The Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. Pacific time, from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. The Hake, HAKE report.com. And then at 12 noon, a brand new episode of The Fallen State .tv. A very interesting discussion with Marquise. He is a businessman, a rapper, and a podcaster. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state?
Most definitely.
Your generation of women completely out of control.
Women gonna do what they think men like. Everybody wanna be loved. To my understanding, God left responsibility to the man.
Everybody and their mama have big butts.
Yeah.
White women used to have nice.
Yeah.
Now they walk around with big butts.
They lust on different levels.
When they sit down, look like they sitting on a yoga ball. Interesting discussion at 12 noon today. TheFallenState.tv. And you can support TheFallenState.tv by going to TheFallenState.tv and locals.com. And then at 4 p.m., the one, the only, Fly High, not off pot and not off fentanyl, not off any drugs, but natural energy. A natural high, the American Anchor Baby. At 4 p.m., it's going to be smooth sailing. The American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. And Sunday morning, Fellowship for All. At 11 a.m., doors open at 10:30. You can watch it live if you're not able to make it by going to rebuildingtheman.com/church. rebuildingtheman.com/church. So just another a quick announcement about from this breaking news. Let's see here. I can't get this thing to work here because it won't go up there. But Feinstein, according to a report, expired at 90. Where did you get that from again? I can't see it on my computer. CNBC has reported that Feinstein has expired at 90. All right? And, let's see here. And so I was wondering out loud, is Newsom going to, the so-called governor of California, will he appoint a black woman to that? Remember last time they wanted a black woman. And according to the AP, March 2021, California Governor Gavin Newsom promised Joy Reid that he would appoint a black woman if Feinstein retired before 2024. I wonder, Lord have mercy. Well, may Feinstein's soul rest in peace if it's possible for her. But anyway, I want to show you, then I get to your calls. Black excellence at work. And just before the break, we showed you looting and stuff that happened in Philadelphia the last 2 nights, the night before that and the night before that. And they were doing it because they were hungry. They were hungry, so hungry. They're just so hungry, they eat cell phones and drink liquor. And they pretend they were so upset that the cops allegedly shot somebody. So they were hungry, they were upset, and they went not to the grocery store, but to the iPhone store. And they stole some iPhone to eat. And they attacked the cops, and they were laughing and grinning. Black excellence at work, and they need reparation. They don't need a job. They need reparation. They don't want no job. They need reparation. Even though they don't deserve it at all. And I want you to watch this compilation, and I want to see if you hear any of the reporters saying black people did this. Or do they just talk about the incident without saying black? And I want to know, do you think reparation is going to solve the problem? Watch this compilation.
There's only one thing that would stop our children from busting into these liquor stores and grocery stores, stealing junk food and stealing different things, and that's reparations.
I want to be very clear. Land.
At the end of the day, any amount is too little, and every amount is never enough.
I think the reparations should be as follows. It's to be gifted to us with gold and silver bullion to, as I said before, my antebellum slaves and ancestors and their heirs. It should be measured in the amount of 1 troy ounce of gold and silver per each antebellum slave and their descendants according to the conditions of the mother for 16 generations. That equals 1,724 metric tons of gold and silver bullion.
If somebody decides to loot a Gucci or a Macy's or a Nike, because that makes sure that that person eats. That makes sure that that person has clothes. That's reparations. That is reparations. Anything they want to take it, because these businesses have insurance. They're going to get their money back. My people aren't getting anything.
Wow. See why they want the blacks looting and rioting and destroying? So they can go up and ask for reparation. It's about the money. It ain't about the blacks. It ain't about racism. It ain't about anything but money for themselves. Money for themselves. That's it. And the blacks allow themselves to be used, and they take joy in it. They never mention, oh, these blacks went out and robbed and stole, and I can't believe they're doing it. They're like, okay, let's take this opportunity to beg some more. Black excellence at work. What's wrong with the blacks? What's wrong with the blacks? What a mess. And y'all put them in your government. You put them in your police department. You put them in your businesses. You're helping evil to destroy you. It's the dumbest thing I ever seen, but I understand when you have fear, that's what happens. When you love fear more than you love what's right. And not all the blacks are like that, but most. Let me go to a first-time caller, Bruce, out of Virginia. Bruce, thanks for calling. You on the air.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Bruce.
I tuned in to Jesse Lee Peterson, and I saw unknown kinfolk. You remember that young lady yesterday from Atlanta? She was calling about her mother. I think she was from Georgia.
Never ask a black man if he remembers.
Yeah. I used to teach black men, so yeah, I know. Look, anyway, her mother and my mother were twins, and I'm hoping she's listening today. If she does what you said and just put it on the table and just walk away, because that lady is not going to get any better, because she's my mama's sister. And my mother has at times gone for years and not spoken to her children. How the hell you not speak to your children? That's like telling your children you don't matter to me.
Yeah. Oh, I remember who you're talking about now. The young lady, she was from Atlanta, Georgia, I believe.
Yeah, and she said, I heard the same thing from my mother. Everything I did for you, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. Crazy what happened. But I'm hoping she hears this today, and maybe that'll help her.
Did you forgive your mother?
I did after she was gone.
Why didn't you do it before she expired?
Well, at the time, I was so pissed at her that I couldn't, I was like, come on.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I hope she heard the message.
But I was there when she passed. And I told her just to go in peace. And I may have said, everything between us is water under the bridge. I may have said that. I can't remember.
Right.
But
right.
And my poor father, I forgave him too. But that's all right. The old man started dating after she left, and he made up for lost time.
Nice. Amazing. Well, I hope she heard the message, and she seemed to have gotten it clearly yesterday, and she's going to go and forgive, and she'll be fine. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir, and I appreciate you.
All right.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye now. Thank you, Bruce. Bye. There's a line open at 888-7753-773. Roberto out of New York. Roberto, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse, good morning. How are you?
All is well.
I was listening to your show a couple of days ago. You had a phone call about the guy's wife died of cancer, and he tried to commit suicide, and he was in he got committed on suicide watch. I'm not going to ask you if you remember, but anyway, I'm going to tell you that I showed that video to let my 8-year-old son watch that, because his mother has been fighting the most not fighting, but dealing with the most aggressive breast cancer. So I just want him to, every time they get a diagnosis or projected, lifespan is goes lower and lower. So I just want him to show him. So he
How old is he?
He's 8 in third grade.
Okay.
So I just wanted to prepare him and all that, just in case, because you explained it beautifully, and he came up with a great question, and I was like, I wonder what you would think about it, and where this idea came from, because my generation, and apparently all through what I've heard growing up and stuff, is that people go, why God allows this person to die? It's God's fault. Where did the idea come from that? If there is a God, why is God allowing this bad thing to happen, and stuff like that? And I said, hey, that's a great question. I don't have that answer for it, because it makes no sense, because God sent the devil down here to earth, and pretty much my conclusion is this whole entire earth is consumed all with the devil, because he's the one that's most present and prevalent here. So he was asking me that, why he's always heard it, and I, for myself as well.
So what's the question?
Why does everyone blame God for any bad things happening, and where did that come from? Instead of blaming the devil, I guess that's the best way I can put it.
So why do everyone blame God rather than blaming the devil?
Yeah, like that phone call you had the other day, you were saying, "Oh, why did God?"
Because they can't see.
Where did that can't seeing come from, though?
From anger. It was passed down from their mothers.
All right. Okay. All right. So that's the only explanation. That's what I should tell him. Just let him. Just hopefully he can see it for himself, right? But that's pretty much it.
Right. They can't see. That's why they blame God. If they could see, they would not be blaming God.
But it's incredible how common it is, because all growing up in my generation, it's always been, oh, there is no God. God doesn't exist because he let, this huge earthquake happen and kill thousands of people. Like people always,
Well, that's
you walk
what
around.
blind people do. They blame God. And all people are blind until they wake up. And most people will never wake up, so they're going to die in their blindness. A few will, and a few are, and they ain't going to see that what they believe is never true.
Right.
I appreciate that, Roberto. Thank you, buddy.
One more quick thing, biblical question. Just want to answer it real quick.
What is real reality?
2 words. Real reality is practical thoughts. And that's it, my man.
I appreciate that, man. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday if the Lord is willing and the creek to rise. So, tell your nephew or your friend, whatever.
No, my son.
Oh, your son. Tell your son that they blame God because they cannot see.
Blame God because they cannot see.
Right,
All
they're
right.
angry. And that's why he should stay away from anger as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to prevent that just in case his mother goes, expires, like you like to say.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Have a good
anytime,
weekend.
man.
Okay.
You too. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch up soon. All right, my man? Good luck with
Thank you,
everything.
buddy. I appreciate you.
All right, say hi to the crew for me, all right?
I will. I definitely.
All right, Jeff.
They hear you, but I definitely will. Thank you.
Yep, anytime, my man. Have a great weekend.
You too. Yeah, tell kids don't be angry. Do not be angry. Super chat. Super chat.
Hello.
I don't like that long pause.
Me neither.
Why is it happening there?
It takes me a second to get in here. My bag. No fear, just faith bought a coffee. Why does the world call sex out of marriage cheating? If I'm in a fallen state and I want to have the S word, sex with someone, sorry, I'm thinking it's the Hake report. That's my business. I don't have to share that information with anyone else. Do you agree?
I agree.
Someone bought bought you a coffee. Hi, Jesse. My brother's wife came on to me a few years ago, and I didn't want any part of her. It really scared the HE double toothpicks into me. I censored it. He said the full-blown hell into me that I didn't say nothing to nobody until now. Forward to today, and she is severely brain damaged, and he's carrying way too much for her, even in this state, meaning the husband. I sometimes want to tell him, just leave her alone. She no good, and to let her die. What should I do or not do?
Don't be angry. Don't be angry, and you'll see what to do.
I am D. Fort bought 5 coffees. Good morning, sir. I'm from Michigan. I'm 26. I'm black, and I stay at home with my parents, which makes me beta. What the? Beta black. Laughing face emoji with cheers.
You black.
However, I did forgive my mother and father and do the silent prayer. I'm looking to move to Sweet Home, Alabama. I'm currently working and paying some bills, but I can't stay with Mama any longer. Should I move to Alabama without having a job there? Or should I still stay home until I find a job in Alabama, then move? What do you highly recommend? Amazing.
How is he going to be able to how are you going to find a job if you're not in Alabama?
Sometimes you call ahead and apply for a job.
Call who?
To some various potential employers.
Oh. What?
Might be pretty easy to find a job depending on what it is.
Especially now, unless they give them to the illegal alien. But I don't know. You know your situation. In the good old days, I moved out here to California from Sweet Home, Alabama, when I was 18. I didn't have a job, and they didn't have computers or cell phones, so I was not able to call ahead. I just waited till I got out here. Is it hot in here? Just me.
It's a little warm.
But it's hot in here, the studio. All these lights. I'm sweating like a slave.
Maybe the AC will kick on. I turned it up a degree because it seemed cool out earlier.
But I don't know. You have to make that decision because I don't know what situation you're in. And then I would think, though, that if you have a job, you will have money already that will hold you until you find a job in Alabama. But I don't know because I don't know your whole situation. I wish you well, though. And that is too old to be living with mama. That's for sure. You black. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Being enlightened till I rise. Moaning, y'all, on Rumble.
Good morning.
A Rumble supporter, by the way, a monthly supporter.
Thank you.
Evgeny Crosby donated a diamond. Where's Dianne Feinstein at now? I rest my case.
According to the report, she did.
Huffing face emoji with smoke coming out of the nostrils. And it's two N's in Dianne.
Dianne stayed as a senator too long.
I know. She was still a so-called senator at 90.
90. Rolling around in a wheelchair.
Yeah, and she looked skeletal.
I remember once they told her how to vote, her workers did.
Oh, really?
I think they were on a news report or something. She was in some type of meeting, and she didn't know what to say, and one of the workers, or maybe two of them, but one for sure, whispered to her what to say.
Wow.
What the?
That's almost as bad as Sleepy Joe Biden. And by the way, it's not where is Dianne Feinstein at now. It's just where's Dianne Feinstein now. Anyway, Puke Bucket donated a generous donation on Rumble with a Rumble rant with answer to the biblical question.
What is real reality?
The truth.
The truth?
Yep.
Thank you. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate it.
Someone bought 3 coffees. I really want to know God and understand his voice. I believe I'm beginning to understand the voiceless voice since I've been doubting thoughts. Do you find that when God speaks to you, it is rare? It seems like when he really reveals something, it is very rare. Do you agree? And sometimes it only happens when I'm doing something like reading the Bible or listening to one of your videos. Does that make sense?
I understand what you're asking because I used to think the same thing, but no. God speaks to you at all time. You're just not conscious enough to see it. But he speaks to you all the time.
That handyman gave a generous donation that I'll read later, I think.
We got to take a break. 2 more hours to go. When I come back, we'll finish those super chats. And then your phone calls. Hake is coming in with the Hake news. Not the fake news, but the Hake news. And I'll be back in a moment. Amazing. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Get It Off Your Chest Friday. September 29th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for Hour 2. Express Yourself Friday will be continuing back to your calls. The lines are full. But first, Hake news, not fake news. Netflix is forsaking its original service. CNN reports, Common Nonsense Network, Netflix will send out its last red envelope today, if it hasn't already, marking an end to 25 years, can you believe it, of mailing DVDs to Netflix members. The idea of receiving a DVD in the mail now seems almost as obsolete as dial-up internet, which is also, is that obsolete? I don't know. Some longtime customers told Commie Nonsense that they were holding on to that service because they found value in the nostalgic movie deliveries. Anybody still getting VHS from Blockbuster or the warehouse? I don't know. Storms coming in. Commie Nonsense Network CNN says a high-impact flood, whatever that is, event is targeting millions in New York City and the Northeast today as heavy rain threatens to flood subways and roads. Forecasts show flash flooding is ongoing or possible in several New York state counties, with intense rainfall rates up to 2 inches per hour that could create dangerous morning commutes today and tomorrow, if it hasn't already. Central New Jersey, northward to Manhattan, Long Island, and New York, and into southern Connecticut, and the Hudson Valley, wherever that is, are expected to see the highest amounts of rain. Even an inch could cause flooding in some parts of the region that are still saturated from last weekend's storm, said meteorologists. An affirmative action edumamification. The corrupt federal department of so-called education on Thursday, according to Commie Nonsense Network, released new recommendations for colleges to promote diversity in the wake of the so-called Supreme Court rightful ruling that gutted affirmative action, mostly rightful anyway, while so-called higher education institutions high on pot can no longer take race into consideration in the admissions process following the high court's ruling in June. The Sleepy Joe Biden administration, Obama Part 3, suggests colleges and universities should still consider a student's financial background and the neighborhood they grew up in, and the impact of so-called discrimination in their life when considering admittance. The department also highlighted the significance of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, commie buzzwords, also known as DEI programs, which have come under fire by conservatives and normal people. Globo homo child trafficking propaganda for you. Commie Nonsense Network CNN says Ukrainian authorities called on ordinary Russians to oppose forced deportations of children to Russia and help bring them home to war-torn Ukraine. Organizers hope to bring back an estimated 20,000 Ukrainian children forcibly removed from their supposed families and trafficked, CNN's word, to Russia or Russian-occupied territories since the invasion last year. Moscow said, by the way, that they're going to boost their military spending by almost 70% in 2024. Russia's finance minister called the war a significant strain on our budget, but our priority. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov accused the United States and so-called allies of being directly at war with Russia by globo homo NATO dirty countries giving war welfare to Ukraine. And a little update on that auto strike. The United Auto Workers, so-called workers union, under UAW President Shawn Fain, they're looking to expand their strike, maybe, if they haven't already, against GM, Stellantis, and even maybe Ford today. It's been since September 15th, 2 weeks ago, striking against one assembly plant for each company, having 12,700 members go on strike rather than all 145,000. Well, we wish you well. And by the way, busy day today. It's going to be Hake after JLP, Fallen State, and American Anchor Baby at 4 Pacific time today. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
have to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week. My biblical question. What is real reality? What is real reality? What is it? What is it? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're busy sitting up at the beach, relaxing, crawling through barbed wire at the borders, selling fentanyl to the American people, breaking in white people's stores because you need reparation and you hungry and you're going to eat cell phones. Whatever you're doing, you can listen to the show by calling. Once you get the cell phone, instead of eating it right away, you can call the show at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. It's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. Oh, don't forget to like, follow, ring the bell, subscribe, do all those things. It's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You Tom like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached because everything you say about black people and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
Most civilized people are out of touch with reality because they confuse the world as it is with the world as they think about it.
They say he tried to take off, striking the couple's car and then a third car, which was being driven by Scruggs. They say that's when Scruggs exited his vehicle and began to stab the man. These images appear to show Scruggs with a knife in his hand.
And all so-called civilized peoples have increasingly become crazy and self-destructive. They have lost touch with reality.
Looting at several popular stores in Center City.
For on the one hand, there is the real world, and on the other, a whole system of symbols about that world.
There's only one thing that would stop our children from busting into these liquor stores and grocery stores, stealing junk food and stealing different things, and that's reparations.
And reality itself is not a concept. Reality is...
What now?
And we won't give it a name.
Now I see what Nick was asking me. Amazing. Amazing. So let me finish the super chat. We started with the super chats in the last hour there, but we ran out of time. Hake is here. We want to finish that. Super chat. Super chats.
That handyman gave a generous donation on a Rumble rant. Ain't no way I'm paying reparations. Oh, wait, I've been paying already through WIC, women, infant, children, food stamps, cash aid, welfare, Section 8, affirmative action, Medi-Cal, taxed and forced onto the American worker.
Amazing. You're right about that. What a mess. They wanted to pay for daycare center, daycare, all, instead of the woman staying home raising her own baby. They want you to take care of that. They want me to take care of it. Isn't that a mess? I want my country back. Thank you.
Greenwall with a diamond. The police protect the looters from the taxpayers.
Yeah, what a mess.
Isn't that a fact?
It is. It's so true. Welcome back. Thank you.
And on Buy Me a Coffee, someone says, Jesse, why don't blacks steal from the Illuminatis? Powerful people who are really causing everyone issues. Why are they picking on their fellow poor people? Thank you, Jesse and crew. I'm determined to give you the money I used to spend on weed. I'll give it a week just to be sure I've lost 28 pounds and quit smoking reefer.
Nice. Because they're doing it because they can get away with it. That's why. What a mess, huh? Thank you.
Total mess.
Yeah.
And thank you, guys. That's all for now.
Thank you all. I appreciate it. Let me go to John out of Kentucky. John, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
What's up, man? Jesse, do you enjoy trolling?
Who?
Trolling.
I never had that.
Oh, so you don't know what trolling means?
You said, do I enjoy trolling? I've never had any.
Okay, you're playing. Okay, you're not being honest. All right, so you played a video
What's
earlier.
Trolling?
I think you know what it is, Jess. You've been on this show for 30-something years, man.
What is trolling?
Trolling is like, all the sarcasm you use when, like, you're making fun and picking at blacks and stuff.
Give me an example of me trolling when I was talking about the blacks.
Well, a second ago when you showed that video, you had, you were saying, like, these people want reparations and, you're just making fun of the blacks.
How am I making fun? You didn't see them say.
You
didn't see them saying that they needed. You didn't hear them say that the only thing going to help them is reparation.
I heard you play one guy said that, but who is he? Like, who is he? What's his name?
I don't know. He black.
Yeah, you don't even know. You're just picking out random people, man. Like, it's not. It's
and
not
did you
legit
hear them
what you're
saying
doing.
that soundbite we played? They said that they were doing the people doing it because they're hungry.
And yeah, and then you're talking about.
So how am I trolling? I'm just telling you what they said.
I'm
John.
telling you. So you really think people gonna eat a cell phone, bro?
Well, they said that's why they were doing it because they're hungry.
Man, you're not that stupid.
What are they gonna do with the cell phone?
Let me ask, Jesse, stop trolling, man. You're trolling right now.
John, if they were the people that said they were hungry, were they lying too? Were they trolling?
Hey, man, you're so funny, man. I swear to God. Man.
John, were they trolling though? When they said that they were doing it?
Trolling.
I'm sorry?
I said you're trolling.
I know, but
those
the people
man.
The people who said
I have a serious question, man. I have a serious question. You're trying to hang on this stuff right here.
I know, but just give me a quick answer. The people who said that the blacks were doing it because they were hungry, were they trolling?
Those people are stupid. Yeah, those people are stupid.
Oh, okay.
Those people are stupid. But, I always ask the same question, but I kind of remix it because you talk about it 24/7. But those people on that film, is that how you think most black people are when you say most?
Yeah, I said most, not all, but most.
No, that's my question. Do you think most black people are like those people that were busting those doors down and stealing phones and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's my question, man.
Thank you, buddy.
That's not reality, but all right.
All right. Are you black, John?
Yes, I'm black.
Why you sound like a white Southerner?
What?
You sound white.
I don't sound white. I'm from the South, but I don't sound white. I sound like a black person.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
All right. Now you do.
But
Thank you, buddy.
Check this out. Hey, one more thing. If that was the case that most black people was like that, man, it would be way more chaos than it is, than these little sprinkled store, what do you call them, riots, I guess.
Are you calling that little sprinkler stores? Right.
Yeah,
it happening
'cause
all over the country.
It don't happen where I'm from.
It happened everywhere else.
Have you ever seen it in
happened
person?
in
I
Beverly
haven't.
Hills, San Francisco, Florida, in Chicago, anywhere where there are nice white area with nice stores. For the most part, it's happening, and it's happening all the time.
But most black people aren't doing that, Jesse.
Then why are they speaking out against it then?
That doesn't mean that they're doing it.
Why are they speaking out about it, John?
Do you see old people out there doing it?
John, why are they speaking out against it?
I don't know why they ain't speaking out against it.
Because they agree with it.
They talk about it amongst themselves, but they ain't getting on the news. Because I'm black.
You black. But it's a mess, John. Do you think they're doing it because they need reparation?
No, man. Nobody care about no reparations, man.
Do you think they're doing it because they...
they're doing it because they're misguided. Some of them don't have fathers to keep them straight. And they're young people. They're juveniles. That's what they are, man. It ain't no...
How come
it ain't your working class.
Why other normal people are not doing it and they're juveniles?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But
why
I'm just telling
is
you
it that for the most part
I'm just telling you it's not most black people, Jesse. That's my
But why
thing.
is it that it's for the most part it's the blacks?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
I have an answer. They're angry, they're brainwashed, and they have not been raised right by their parents, and they are messed up.
I agree, Jesse. But where I disagree is not most, man. When you say most, man, you ruin the whole thing, man.
I said not all.
I said it's not most.
Oh.
I didn't say you said it was all. It's not most. 100% absolutely a matter of fact, not most black people are not like that.
You remember when they had the Black Lives Matter riots?
Yeah, but what about it?
Wasn't it mostly black people?
Heck no.
Yes, it was.
No, it was not, man.
There was some white,
there was a lot.
What do you call it? Antifa people in the mix, but they were only in the mix to encourage the blacks to do it.
But a lot of those whites weren't even Antifa. It was them.
What do you think about the fact that the blacks are doing it? Period.
Dang, you be cutting people off, man. It was those Proud Boys that was trying to break windows and make it look like they were, riding.
You're just making that up. You ain't seen no Proud Boy doing that. No,
honest to God, truth.
It was a white man.
Truth.
John, I gotta run because of time, but thank you, man. I appreciate it. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Quit saying that. Quit saying it's most black people, Justin.
I said not all, but most.
Quit saying it's most black people, Justin.
You know what, John? Just to show you that I'm for the blacks. You know what I have?
What?
A black Jesus.
Well, he is black. I mean,
so do
I
I get credit now that I'm not against the blacks?
Yeah, if you just,
I have a black Jesus.
I'm about to look at it on video in a second, but
black,
he is black, Jesse.
I'm sorry?
See, you trolling, man. But all right, man, have a good day.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. 888-7753-773. CNN is reported that nearly 75% of blacks respondents in a poll said they believe the U.S. government should pay reparations to the descendants of enslaved black people. See that, John? 75% is most. 75, according to CNN, 75% of blacks respondents in a poll said they believe the U.S. government should pay reparations to the descendants of enslaved black people. What a shame. Black, y'all need to stop begging. Really. The white people have given y'all everything for 75 years. They even gave you their schools, their homes, their white women, and you're still begging. I guess as long as you beg and they give, it won't end. Vanessa is her first time call out of Los Angeles.
Hello, hi.
Hey, Vanessa, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm white on the inside, too.
You white?
Yeah, I'm so white on the inside. But glory to God.
Are you black on the outside?
No, Brother Jesse, I'm not. Well, I'm brown. I'm toasty, like an almond.
So are you white or Mexican?
I'm a Mexican mess. A mess of Mexican.
Oh, okay. But you white on the inside, right on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, brother. And I'm having so much trouble. So much. I actually went to church, to fellowship, and with my husband, and he is beta. I don't know. I'm just having such a hard time. And
what's wrong?
I'm a beta transformer.
So what's wrong?
Okay. So I'll go ahead and I'll call out his beta-ness, but I'm acting like a beta, understanding, and sometimes I'll react from his reactions because he's always huffing and puffing, and I even had him watch Color Purple because I'm like, next time we go to church, I'm gonna ask Jesse to ask you if Harpo beat you.
What the? So what's wrong with that?
Okay. Well, how do I deal with my husband's victim mentality? And yeah.
By not resenting him.
Okay. Just live our life then, huh?
Yep. And you work on you, don't resent him, and you will be fine, and he will have his problems to deal with, but you'll be fine with it, as long as you stay away from the anger. He can't help himself.
Okay. And then, I don't want to be his mom because he's older than I am. I mean, I'm older. He's 4 years, and so that's sometimes I
can
older than
you, or you're older than him?
I'm older than he is.
So you're 4 years older than him?
Correct, 4 years older. Yeah.
So why did you marry a young guy?
To be quite honest with you, I just didn't want to marry a Mexican because I don't want to get pregnant right off the bat. And the younger guy, I thought I came from an abusive relationship, so I just thought I would have more power and control in the relationship. And now I'm suffering because of it. But that's what I wanted. I wanted power and control.
And why did you? So you married Are you married to a Mexican?
He's half white, half Mexican.
Oh. And you married a guy 4 years younger than you because you wanted control?
Yeah, I mean...
But that's why all older women marry young men or live with them because they want control over them.
Yeah, and I feel bad now because that's what difference am I with a predator, right?
You have children?
No, sir. No, God, glory to God. No, because, we have people who keep telling us, you need to have children, but I'm like, we're not even stable. I mean, we argue, he doesn't even sometimes we argue about the Bible, we argue about going to church.
And so, you're 4 years older than him. You realize now that you should not have done that. You have no children. Why stay with him?
The reason why I stay with him is because, to be honest with you, I think I mentioned wrong. We both can support each on ourselves, but I just kind of want to be his cheerleader and just to be his helpmate. And because his mom and his sisters are so dominating and domineering like I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's not a reason to stay with him. What do you mean you want to be his cheerleader?
Just and on top of that, I'm like, well, we're not gay, but it kind of seems like we're like the odd couple living together,
But why do you stay with him? You're older, and you shouldn't be with a younger guy. You playing mama with him while you're accusing his mama and sister, but you're doing the same thing. You have no children. It's not working out. Why stay in there?
Because I guess it's those moments that there's more good than there is the slivers.
No, there's no good in that at all.
I know, because I feel like I'm lying a lot, and I don't want to lie because the devil is the father of lies, and I'm a Bible thumper too. I'm trying to come off of that too. I should have called yesterday.
And why don't you stop being a Bible thumper?
Oh, then I became a Jesse thumper.
Have you forgiven your mother?
Yes, I have forgiven her. I went to her and
what did you say to her when you went to her?
I said, you know what, Mom, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like, I think I've been arguing with you and saying that I don't hate you and for all these years, but I do have a lot of hatred towards you. I hate that you're not the godly woman that I was hoping that you would be, and and I hate the fact that you turned me against my dad, and just complaining about him and letting your mom and your sisters fill my head up with all those lies about my dad. And now my brother's off the deep end. I don't even know how to help him, and I can't help him.
You can't help him. You can't even help yourself, but that's you got to work on you. But you can't help anybody else. No human being can help another person.
Yeah, and I've seen all the men around me suffer, and then I end up going back into that role of punking them. I don't want to punk them, especially now that I know that I'm a beta. So it's easy for me to go around calling all these men betas, but
yeah, you need to stop and work on you. And have you forgiven your father for not protecting you from your mother?
Yes, even though he did expire, he did.
Oh, he did. So here's what I recommend. I got to run. Do the silent prayer and just watch those thoughts so you can so you can come to order. You'll become to order if you be still and let God do it for you, all right?
All right, I appreciate it so much and look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
All right, see you Sunday, Vanessa.
God bless you. Bye.
Bye now. 888-7753-773. That's a line open there. Let me go to Isaiah, our first-time caller out of Texas. Isaiah, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
Hey, speak up for me.
2 seconds. Can you hear me now?
I can. Go ahead.
I love you, man. I had quite a bit of hardship in my life, and I got over it, and my parents were kind of Bible thumpers and things like that. But just over the past few years, I've been listening to you before the pandemic, and you introduced me to a different way of supporting religion. Before that was, again, holy roly Bible thumpers, praise and worship, which I guess is okay, but
that's not okay.
Like
not
the
at
logical
all.
thinking.
That's not okay. That's keeping people in hell.
The logical way of thinking things is good.
Yeah.
Like again, I've been 12 days completely sober of alcohol, and things have been going pretty well for me. I have a very nice job, but before that, I would just go home and kind of do nothing all day, other than just drink, and it drove me nearly to insanity. But I mean, I've been listening to you for a while, and I should have took your words of wisdom, but things have been much better now. And
nice. Did you go and forgive your parents?
Of course.
And
my mother, again, she's crazy, holy roly Bible thumper, running around, disrespecting my father, and my father wasn't a powerful man, so he was just weak. Everything he did just kind of rolled onto my siblings and I, and I'm just not going to let that, happen. But, I mean, my parents were realistically on, like alcohol and things like that when they were younger and when I was a child. And they got really into the Bible, and, like, you're not supposed to try to explain the Bible to yourself, and they just couldn't stand it. They took it at face value and decided that everything they'll do is based on a book, and instead of actually, self-worshiping and thinking to themselves and forgiving themselves, like, again, it's like the holy roly kind of stuff. It was the weirdest thing for me as a child. I hated church because they kind of ruined it, but now I'm 28 now. I have a good job. I'm an engineer. And
are you doing the silent prayer now?
Yes, sir.
Every morning, every night?
Every morning, every night.
Stay with it, Isaiah, and you have not seen anything. It will become clearer and clearer and clearer for you. It's going to be mind-blowing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it has done numbers for me.
Yeah. And it only
all
get
people
better.
out there that are lost. I feel, I weep for them. My parents literally named me after the weeping prophet Isaiah. Like, you've done numbers for me, man. I'm telling you, like, before all this, I had nothing. Now I own my own car, and I'm paying my rent on time. I'm 3 months ahead on rent. Like, everything is fine. All my bills are paid for. I feel content with my life.
Right on. Well, it's going to get better if you stay with it. Stay with it. It will get better, and you will have a clearer mind, and you will just live your life. Life will just happen for you. You won't have to try to make it happen at all. So stay with it, man. That's amazing.
How do I not save my mother, but, like, again, she's a Bible thumper, like, hardcore, completely insane, speaking in tongues and freaking out instead of just, thinking logically. I mean, I guess that's just how she is normally, but seriously. I tried to tell her one time that I forgive you for all the things you've done, and she raised hell, like, hated me because I tried to tell her, like, you did all these things, and I don't know, she just lost her shit, I guess, or excuse me, she
And you want to know how can you save her?
Yeah, like, she goes to a cowboy church down here in Texas.
But why do you think you need to save her?
Every time that my siblings and my father try to talk to her, my father and her are still together. It's been like 27 years. And every time I try to talk to her and
you
speak
can't save
logically,
her.
she just freaks out. Yeah.
I
what
just
it
leave
feels
her,
like.
let her suffer in her own hell, and when she's ready to come out of it, if she ever get ready, then she'll be saved by God. She'll be saved by the truth. But there's nothing you can do at all about it. So don't even try.
At one point in time, my parents were kind of like, I'm telling you, like, major alcoholics. I'm surprised they're not dead or in jail. But, like, she used to tell me all the time because, I was going through it. Like, everything that she learned from her mistakes, like, none of that was actually true. She was just kind of lying to everyone and pretending to be sober and still, doing wrong by her own self. And I don't know, after a while, she finally, I guess, she won't tell us what happened, but she kind of made herself sober. And my siblings and I still have kind of doubts. And, I mean, she's nuts. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, with or without alcohol, she is nuts. 100%. But,
when you ask your father why did he protect you,
lost.
When you ask your father why did he protect you from her, what did he say?
He's weak. He has no answer. There's, like, they pretend they're godly people. So.
Well, let me do this because of time. You just continue to live your life and let them live their life the way they want to live it, and you just wish them well and go on with your life. And because even God is not going to force her to change, He's going to let her live in her hell until she's ready to change, and if she's ready.
I tried to put you on her to your podcast. She's nuts. She raised hell thinking you're crazy. I was like, dude, you are look in the mirror. Like,
all right, but I got to run. Call me again, all right?
I love you, Jesse.
All right.
Like, seriously.
Okay.
Tell Hake and tell the anchor baby Nick, I love you guys. Don't keep your head up.
All right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right. 888-775-3773. Hey said thanks. I'll be back here in a moment. Short break. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Okay, folks, welcome back. Just a quick reminder to get your super chats read out loud. Donate and have your comments read out loud. Go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And you can go to rebuildingaman.com to support as well. The Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. from 9 to 11. And then a brand new episode of The Father State at 12 noon. And at 4 p.m., The American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. today, all right? And Sunday morning, Fellowship for All. Doors open at 10:30. The meeting started at 11 a.m. Pacific time and 2 p.m. Eastern time. Go to rebuildingaman.com/church. You can watch it live no matter where you are, anywhere in the world, but you're welcome to come on down as well for all. All right? Let me go to Jeff out of Louisiana. Jeff, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, I just want to give a couple comments on that video you're showing this morning of people riding in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Well, they were hungry. They raided a chicken joint.
They raided a chicken joint as well?
Yeah, they looted a chicken restaurant.
and they did because they were hungry?
Yeah, that black girl you're showing them one meatball.
Uh-huh.
She was in there with a camera on her saying, "We hungry. Give us the chicken. Pull all the chicken out of the back."
Oh, yeah? I didn't see that. What do you think about the fact that most black people are out of control?
Man, it's outrageous. I mean, okay, I give you an example right here. This is different subject, but Larry Elder was on a podcast yesterday, and there's two black people interviewing him, and Larry Elder said, and that black girl said, "Well, what you doing about the fatherless homes?" And Larry Elder said, "So you admit that there's a problem?" "No, I ain't admit it's a problem. What you doing about it?" He said, "Well, I ain't going to answer that question until you tell me that you admit it's a problem." And the guy told Larry Elder to get the hell out of here and kick him off the show.
Yeah, black people mean, man. They have no love. And Larry's really been doing this work for years now, trying to help the blacks, but they reject. Not all, but most reject help because they don't want to be independent. They don't want to be well. Why do you think white people don't speak up and they're afraid to speak up about what the blacks are doing?
Man, sorry, give me a second. Hiccup. Since the George Floyd thing, everything the white person says is racist, evil, and everything else.
But they were even afraid before the George Floyd thing.
Well, man, it's not just Georgia. Well, I mean, it does go beyond that. But the thing is, white people are afraid to be called racist.
Why?
Most white people, I always say most white people. I don't mean cuss on the show, but I don't give a shit.
Oh, you can't curse on the show.
I'm going to call a spade a spade. If
You
you're
can't
lazy,
cuss
not
on the
working,
show.
I apologize for it in advance, but like I said, I'm going to call a spade a spade. You know, there's white people that work every day and do their jobs and take care of business. And there's black and white people that do live off the government. But it's just, I don't, they're looking for something that doesn't exist. Like you said, racism doesn't exist. They're looking for a payday off of something they never did.
Right. Yeah.
200 years ago, people suffered and people were enslaved and all that stuff. But guess what? You don't get paid for that. You get paid off of your work ethic and what you do. You don't get paid off something that happened 200 years ago to somebody maybe related to you. It's one. What?
Do you think that most black will ever stop begging?
To be honest, no. Because we're not raising a society. They're not teaching them like people in your generation. Okay, I give you your generation. Your parents raised you. What did your parents raise you with? The work ethic. To do what what you get is what you get out of life is what you put in life. That's where you're raised, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't do that no more.
And so you think that the white people are afraid because they are afraid of being called racist?
Yeah, and
but they calling them that anyway. Even if they don't say anything or do anything, they're still calling the white people racist, and they're trying to take over the white man's country, and all they're going to do is destroy it. And the white man is allowing them to just take over their country.
It falls into a twofold problem here, because it's not just the black people call white people racist. It's the fact we've got all these white liberals out here in BLM riots and all this junk going on. We got white liberals out here doing all this crap.
Yeah. Yep.
And the biggest problem in this country, the honest God, the biggest problem in this country is not white people rioting, it's white liberals.
No, it's black people rioting. Everybody's scared of the blacks. They're afraid of them. They don't like them now. All races are afraid of the blacks. Even the white liberals who are using the blacks, they're afraid of the blacks as well.
Did you see that video of Houston, out of Jack and Box in Houston?
Yeah, where this black woman pulled a gun on a drive-up window customer.
On a Mexican couple, the guy had his pregnant wife and a kid in the back seat. Did you see where she went on TV saying she never fired a gun, but then they showed the actual video? It shows a muzzle flash when she fired the gun.
I didn't see her. No, I didn't see that, but I did. It was amazing too. She didn't know how to fire the gun. She didn't know how to shoot because the truck were right there. She missed the folks.
Yeah, but she called a TV station and said, "I want to get my side of the story." They didn't call her. She called them.
Oh, what a mess.
And she goes, "I've been working in Jackson Box for 15 years, and now I got fired. See, I never shot the gun."
What did she think was going to happen? They're looking at her on camera. It looked like she was firing the gun.
Well, when they showed the video...
But the fact that she even pulled a gun on a customer, she should be fired. Even if she didn't fire it.
Officer Tatum did the video, and it shows the muzzle flash when she fired the 2 shots.
Yeah. But even if she didn't, she has no right to pull a gun. Right. I got to run, Jeff. Thank you for your call, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, have a good day.
All right. Bye now. 888-7753-773. We're going to get to your Super Chat in a minute here. Let me go to the first time caller, Jacob out of Texas.
Oh.
Jacob, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Mr. Jesse Lee. How you doing this morning?
All is well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm calling from actually the Rio Grande Valley, right next to the border, where all the Mexicans are coming through.
Yeah, what a mess.
Yeah, what a mess, Jesse. Anyways, I had a question for you regarding women in positions of leadership roles, I guess.
Right.
And I wanted to give you an example. I know you have a lot of people on your show, but there was one particular person that you had, it was months ago, though, named Pearl Davis. Do you know who she is?
Oh, yeah, she was on the Fallen State.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah, she has a...
Yes.
Yeah. So she's on your show. She has a really big influence, particularly when it comes to, like, men and relationships and women. She kind of similar to, like, what you do. And I noticed that, you know, she calls women fat. You know, she get back in the kitchen, stop working, women can't vote, which I can all agree with on that. But where I'm coming from is, how do you feel about women like that leading the charge when them themselves aren't wives? Like, she's not a wife. She's 27, around there, unmarried. She makes her own money. She has a bunch of clout, but yet she's influencing or telling men how to pick women, and she's also basically getting a lot of other women upset for her hypocrisy. How do you feel about women in that space influencing men? Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
You said she's getting women upset for her hypocrisy?
Yeah.
But how is she speaking the truth, or how is there hypocrisy?
Because her herself is unmarried. Again, she's a boss.
But you don't have to be married to speak the truth.
No, I understand that. But she's getting a lot of people upset. Like, she's leading the charge in that. And do you believe women make good lead? Do you believe she's a good leader in that?
No, women cannot. I mean, she can speak the truth, but she can't lead. Women are not to lead men. Right, and she's doing that by her influence online. But how is
similar to like things?
How is she leading men by speaking the truth?
She's leading a lot of the charge where it comes to like she'll parrot a lot of things like from other men.
But how is she leading men though by speaking the truth though?
She's leading men by speaking points of views that a lot of men influence other men to get better.
But how is she leading men? You're not telling me that. All she's doing is speaking the truth, right?
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, not necessarily all the time.
How is she leading men by just speaking the truth?
She's leading men by influencing a lot of people, I guess, like a lot of men, to kind of follow women in a sense of, I guess I could say, she parrots a lot of talking phrases from other men.
Jacob,
but doesn't necessarily understand.
Is she telling men to follow women?
No, she doesn't tell men to follow women.
So how is she leading men then if she's not telling them to do that?
She's not telling them to do that.
So how is she leading the men then?
Well, she's leading the men as far as influence. She has a mass influence. I'm asking you, how do you feel about her, who herself is not necessarily a...
Do you know any men who... Do you know any men who see her as their leader?
No, I don't know that personally.
So then,
but
why do you think she's leading men then?
No, I'm saying I believe she's leading men because of her kind of having a stance of, well, she tells women you gotta do X, Y, Z, but her herself is a boss babe, and she does all the same.
She's not
same
married,
things that
right?
she doesn't tell women to do.
She's not married, right?
She's not married. No.
So she gotta take care of herself.
Yeah, I understand that, Jesse, but I'm saying if her herself tells women you got to get back in the kitchen and do all these things, but her herself is not that. Do you find that to be a little bit hypocritical?
No, if she's not married.
No.
And so she's not married. She's not telling men to follow women. She's telling married women that they need to get back in the kitchen and cook and have babies and take care of the men. home and stuff like that. But she's not leading men, though, right? She's telling women the right thing to do.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from on that, but I'm saying, do you think she's a positive influence in that?
If she's telling the truth, absolutely.
Oh, really? Okay. Awesome.
You don't think so?
I think that Pearl tends to have a very, because I've seen a lot of her interviews or debates. I think she tends to have a very parroting talking point. So so when she does go up against other people that disagree, or even other people that do agree, but talk about particular like a psychological point of view when it comes to what's going on.
What made you watch her so much?
I don't really watch her so much. She comes out on a lot of other people's podcasts. Like she has a big influencer, so she obviously pops up a lot.
Are you judging her for having an ego?
Yeah, well, she does have an ego, that's for sure.
Are you judging her for having an ego?
Am I judging her?
Yeah.
I suppose so, yeah.
And do you have the right to judge her?
Do I have the right? As long as it's righteous judging, if it's the truth.
Do you have the right to judge her?
Yes.
And who gave you the right to judge her?
Who gave me the right?
Yeah.
I guess you could say, I don't know, God? Did God give us the right to judge? Righteous judging?
Who gave you the right to judge her?
God, Jesse.
And how did God give you the right when he told you not to do that?
Well, he told us we could judge through righteous judgment.
But that's
and obviously judgment is always natural, Jesse. Obviously, we judge every day in order to survive through life.
That's not natural. It's not natural to judge, Jacob. It's unnatural.
It's unnatural. Well, it is natural, Jesse. Obviously, we do judging every day to survive.
If it's natural to judge, why did God say, "Don't judge, or you shall be judged"?
I think what you're talking about there is more of like, obviously, God doesn't want you to judge people unrighteously.
He didn't say that. He said, "Don't judge, or you'll be judged." He didn't say, "Don't judge unrighteously, don't judge." He said, "Don't do it, or you'll be judged."
I understand that, Jesse, but I mean, you're also a guy that says, women are sluts and men are slut makers.
Jacob,
and so
Jacob.
So I'm saying, like, that's a form of judgment as well, Jesse.
Jacob,
I'm saying, yes.
That's not judgment at all. But you're saying that you're judging her. And you're saying God gave you the right to judge her. Where in the Word did God give you the right to judge her or anyone?
I don't know where it's at exactly, Jesse.
It's not in there, buddy.
I'm not a Bible thumper. I
know, but Jacob, it's not in there.
Well, I'm not a Bible thumper, Jesse. I can't tell you exactly, but I know that it does talk about righteous judgment.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't talk about righteous judgment?
No.
Okay. So it just says all judgment, always, all of that, always. If you judge a tiger that it might kill you, you shouldn't do that. That's just saying, Jess, come on. We all go out there, we all have to judge to survive.
That's practical judgment.
Oh, practical judgment. What's the difference?
A pearl is not going to kill you.
Well, she can hurt a lot of men, and she's being a role model for women. That can hurt a lot of women.
What's wrong with her telling married women they need to get back in the kitchen?
Well, she's telling women in general. It's not just married
But
women.
What's wrong with her telling them that?
There's nothing wrong with that, but she's telling, like, she herself, you have to realize people like that are influencers. They're role models to others, younger people.
Jacob, what's wrong with her telling that? Women
what's wrong with that is if she's not telling people, if she's telling people you should do this, but her herself is not, it creates a division there, Jesse. That's the problem that I think a lot of people have.
She does cook and clean for herself. She's just not married. But Jacob, I got to run, buddy. Call me again. I appreciate it, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time, Jesse.
You're welcome. Call me again, Jake. Amazing call.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, buddy. Super chat.
Super chat.
Super.
Woozy on Rumble says, Jesse, it seems like all the liberal women I grew up with are aging like milk. I mean, gray hairs and wrinkles in their early 30s. What the? It's amazing to see the physical manifestation of anger within.
That's right. They're angry, they're worried, they're scared, and that anger is destroying them because anger destroys every fiber of the body. It's amazing. Thank you.
On Buy Me a Coffee, Zuzu CC on. Bought 3 coffees yesterday, Jesse. I'm just saying it's not a good thing to do that. Great. Now you're going to make me pull up the other super chat. I think it had something to do with men who are all lustful, getting taken advantage of by what she called tricks, which are women.
All right.
And okay, so I guess she's saying it's not a good thing to do that, meaning tricks taking advantage of men, but some of them deserve it, the dog men who are lustful, since they're such sly dog. Not Sandy Dog, Hassan Yeezy. LOL, lots of laughs, Jesse. I saw your net worth or net work, I'm not sure, and it's not a whole lot in what you deserve. Oh, maybe she Googled his net worth or something like that, I don't know. By the way, you are honest and you tell the truth. You're a great speaker and you would have been a billionaire, Jesse, but instead you chose to tell the truth, help men and women overcome their hell. You're not like those disgusting race hustlers, so-called civil rights lawyers, and a pimp like Al Sharpton, LOL. Scrunchy face laughing. Judge Joe Brown was great on The Fallen State.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that with Judge Joe Brown. I haven't heard older person speak that way in a long time, so it was amazing. And thank you, Sion, for your support. I appreciate it.
Elias Garcia bought you a coffee. Which BLM acronym sounds better? Burn, Loot, Murder, or Blacks Love Misery? Make America Alpha again. I like the latter.
Is that a question?
Yeah, it is a question. Which BLM acronym sounds better? You know, Black Lives Matter.
Oh.
Is it really Burn, Loot, Murder, or Blacks Love Misery?
Burn, Loot, Murder. And they love misery.
Yeah.
That's why they burning, looting, and murdering. They love misery.
Yeah. Even the ones who don't burn and loot and murder,
yeah,
spiritually they are. Stan69 with a diamond. Women cannot lead, but can men lead other men? He asks.
No. No one can lead another person. You have to be an example of the leader. And that leader, which is the God, will lead you. Don't let anyone lead you, especially adults. Parents, God, be an example for the children, and adults represent themselves. Don't ever try to lead anyone. You can't even lead yourself. Only the Father, are you being led by evil or you're being led by good? You can't be led by both. Thank you. I appreciate it. Amazing question.
Couple more super chats, but I don't know if we have time.
Let me take a break. We'll come back. Your phone calls, we'll finish the super chats, and more news items. I got to take a break. One more hour to go. The Hake news, not the fake news, is coming now, and I'll be back in a moment. Thank you all for your super chats. Amazing. Back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
Probable shutdown? Yes. Am I wrong for having that attitude towards the government shutdown? This is the end of hour one of the hour two. End of hour two of the Jason Lee Peterson Show. It's Express Yourself Friday, September 29th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for hour three. Last hour of JLP is coming right up. There is one line open. You can call in right now during Hake News to get on air with JLP in hour three. It is Hake News, not fake news. After the Jason Lee Peterson Show, of course, the HakeReport.com, live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 Pacific. After that, at noon Pacific, TheFallenState.tv. Should be a cool episode, I think, right? Should be actually really good. Yeah. That guest has been on the Jason Lee Peterson Show years ago, Marquise. Very fun. And then, of course, American Anchor Baby, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And, of course, Church on Sunday, Church with Jason Lee Peterson, Fellowship with JLP, rebuildingtheman.com/church. Join us online or in person. In person is better, I do say. Commie Nonsense Network CNN reports Rhino House Speaker in name only Kevin McCarthy appears to lack the votes to pass a stopgap measure for funding the evil government. Senate and House are at an impasse. Shutdown imminent. Yay! Is that malicious or flippant of Hake? It is flippant. I don't know if it's wrong. Some House Republicans have threatened to oust McCarthy as Speaker. He is a Rhino from Bakersfield, California. Britney Spears got a wellness check at home. We're laughing with her, not at her. Officials were dispatched to the home of Britney Spears this week after she posted a video on social media depicting her dancing with knives. And she was like half naked. So bad. And she's like my age. Fans are debating whether her behavior is concerning or creative expression. How is that creative? Anyway, Dumbledore died. Rest in peace to Irish English actor Michael Gambon. Best known for playing the wizard Dumbledore in most of the quote-unquote Harry Potter movies after the first two. Not to be confused with 84-year-old English actor Ian McKellen, who's the unstraight Gandalf of Lord of the Rings. But Michael Gambon has died following a bout of pneumonia, his family said on Thursday. He was 82 years old. Over the course of his career, Gambon won Best Actor awards at the British Academy Television Awards and was nominated for 2 Emmy Awards. So rest in peace. That's from CNN. Insane enablement of inflation. $20 an hour for fast food workers in California after Governor Gavin Newsom on Thursday signed legislation. Is he bribing them for their votes? Raising the so-called minimum wage for many employees in the restaurant sector. California's current minimum wage is $15.50 an hour, which is ridiculously high. Of course, the cost of living is ridiculously high as well, but that doesn't mean that you enable it. The new hourly wage for fast food workers will take effect April 1st, April Fool's Day of next year, but it's no joke. It is a joke. It's a bad joke. Meanwhile, in New York, Uber, DoorDash, Grubhub, delivery workers, so-called workers, they will get almost $20 an hour in 2025 as well. Walmart, too, removing college degree requirement from hundreds of corporate job listings. Affirmative action. Impeachment update. Blah, blah, blah. This is boring. But so-called President Sleepy Joe Biden is having an impeachment inquiry in the House, I think. House Oversight Committee, Republican-led. Its first hearing on the impeachment inquiry. Republican chairs of 3 House committees looking into whether Sleepy Joe abused his power and benefited from Hunter Biden's foreign business deals. Republicans brought in 3 witnesses. One of them, a law professor, said while he believes the inquiry is warranted, there is not enough evidence to support articles of impeachment. To reach that level, he said there needs to be more evidence of Biden's abuse of power and whether he knew of it and encouraged it. The black on the inside White House has denied the allegations and called the inquiry politically motivated. Well, of course it is. Everything is. Duh. One GOP aide called it an unmitigated disaster. Oh, Lord. Do you want... Well, anyway, I was going to talk about the upcoming Hake Report. I do have a guest. I will have a guest today. Nice. So the HakeReport.com. You can go to JesseLeePeterson.com/show to find all of the network hosts and their links. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. It's Friday, last work day of the week for most, well, many people. A lot of people work all the time. But for most, I think Friday is it. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773, 888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week: what is real reality? What is real reality? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And don't forget, you can have your comments read out loud by going to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, or rebuildingtheman.com and Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. Okay? And don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, ring the bell. We're on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, cozy.tv/JLP, JLP Talk on X, JLP Talk on X, and last but not least, Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram, right? All kinds of ways. So it's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a great alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
Most civilized people are out of touch with reality because they confuse the world as it is with the world as they think about it.
They say he tried to take off, striking the couple's car and then a third car, which was being driven by Scruggs. They say that's when Scruggs exited his vehicle and began to stab the man. These images here to show Scruggs with a knife in his hand.
And all so-called civilized peoples have increasingly become crazy and self-destructive. They have lost touch with reality.
Looting at several popular stores in Center City.
For on the one hand, there is the real world, and on the other, a whole system of symbols about that world.
There's only one thing that would stop our children from busting into these liquor stores and grocery stores, stealing junk food and stealing different things, and that's reparations.
And reality itself is not a concept. Reality is...
Amazing. I'm going to...
and we won't give it a name.
Nice. I'm going to have my experts eventually come in and tell us what is real reality. I haven't heard from them about real reality. That should be interesting. But first, I want to just show you this, and then I'll get back to your calls and super chats and all that. So you hear the Biden administration and the liberal media saying that there's no problem at the borders, that the borders are just fine. And then there are people who believe it. when they hear the media say that, they believe that there's no problem at the border. Because the liberal media is not going to tell you the truth about it. Whatever this administration wants, that's what the media is going to do. It's not going to tell you what's happening at the border. So, no problem at the border, you say, right? Have you heard of anyone ever interviewing people stuck in barbed wire at the border? What the? If not, get ready. This is from Fox. Migrant caught in razor wire at southern border talked to Fox News' Griff Jenkins. Watch this from Fox.
We want to give you a look here right along the razor wire. More than 50 migrants over here gathered, some women with small children. And you can see here, over here along the razor wire, you've got the Texas DPS and the National Guard stopping the migrants from coming through the razor. ¿De dónde eres? You can hear that, Bill. Venezuela, most of them are from Venezuela. And actually here, right at the very close next to the no trespassing city of Eagle Pass, you can see two women stuck in the razor wire here behind me. Hola, ¿cómo te llama? Ana, Ana, ¿por qué vienes ahora? Opportunity. She says her name is Ana from Venezuela. She says she's coming, Bill, for an opportunity. That's the scene right here. We'll see whether or not Border Patrol comes and cuts the wire, as we've seen them in past days do, to let these migrants through. Right now, it's a standoff.
Leave her in the wire. What the? So you still think things are fine at the borders? No problem. You're not going to see that on MSNBC, CNN, the liberal media. Oh, there's a problem at the border and the wall going up. Amazing. Fox is, not Fox, but KATV is reporting on the people who are benefiting from what's happening at the borders. KATV, cartels and coyotes are reportedly earning, watch this, cartels and coyotes are reportedly earning around $13 billion a year. $13 billion a year by smuggling migrants, which are illegal aliens, migrants across the United States-Mexico borders. Isn't that amazing? That's a lot of money, $13 billion. An amount that has soared from 2018 numbers of just 500 million. So in 2018, they were getting 500 million for bringing illegal aliens into our country. Now they're getting $13 billion, according to KATV. Do you think that's why the borders are flooded? It's the money. Our country is quickly becoming a third world asshole country. They're bringing it in and changing the America. What a mess. It's becoming so Spanish, America is. According to Breitbart, a Univision anchor opened a second debate in Spanish. Watch this from Fox.
Welcome to the second Republican debate of the 2024 primary. And I am thrilled to be sitting alongside my co-moderators, Fox News Channel Dana Perino and Ilya Calderon, Univision.
Good evening. Thank you, Stuart. Please allow me to welcome our Spanish-speaking audience. Muy buenas noches a todos. Desde la Biblioteca Presidencial Ronald Reagan, los precandidatos republicanos también buscan su voto para las primarias del partido. Bienvenidos.
And good evening.
That is so wrong. It's not even funny. English only in America. How about English only? She interpreting. And that's conservative news, supposed to be. They got a Mexican woman up there speaking Spanish. So they're supporting the illegal aliens when they speak Spanish. How about English? We're not a Spanish country. And they had that second so-called debate with the Republicans that are running. It was dumb. I didn't even watch it. I saw the soundbites later because I already know these people are not about nothing. Rhino Republicans, politicians, saying the same dumb thing over and over again and acting like out-of-control children. Do you really think these are the type of people you want to work for you? You want them to be your public servant? Watch this from Fox and let me know if you want these people to run your country. Watch this from Fox.
How will you reach out to Latino voters?
If you lead by example, it's the best way to get the job done. If you look at my office in the Senate, my chief of staff is the only Hispanic female chief of staff in the Senate. You can't be on both sides.
Gentlemen, you'll have your turn.
One of the challenges, a grass tax increase, and then you want to
So listen up.
We should have
Please focus on the issues that matter.
between It's a fact, though. You want leaders who lead by example.
Poor Tim Scott. Don't blame him. He and his mama grew up in a one-room house. You should lead by example. He the only one got a Mexican in his office. That's Rhino. That's exactly what the Democrats do. That's exactly what they do. I want my country back. But unfortunately, my country is not coming back. That's just reality. It's the truth. It's not coming back. It's over. You got the Rhino Republican, acting just like the Democrats. You got to lead by example. I got a Mexican in my office. I'm the only one. And they're up there yelling at each other. Nobody knew what they were saying. Crazy politicians. And white folks, y'all better be trying to have some white babies. Y'all better be trying to have white babies because they say that you're going to eventually be fewer in numbers. And so not only are the white people not speaking out against all this mess, they won't even have children. And they're making it impossible for you to have children. They don't want you having more kids. Not just the white, but they don't want anybody really, but not especially whites. Yahoo has reported many contraceptive brands have doubled their advertisement budget. These ads are part of a nationwide uptick in birth control advertising. And I have an example of that for you here. Watch this from my Booker models.
Hormones. I found a birth control with no hormones. No hormones, not an ounce. With an ingredient I can pronounce. No hormones. It's over 99% effective. I know I'm protected. A birth control that works differently. Finally. It's P-A-R-A-G-A-R-D.
Paragard is a small 100% hormone-free IUD that prevents pregnancy for as long as you want, up to 10 years, using one simple active ingredient, copper instead of hormones.
Paragard. I get everything I need in a birth control and nothing more. So I can keep living my life just like before.
Poor female. Poor, blind, dumb female dancing over killing children. Killing the man children. And these people just making money off it. They're making buku money. According to Yahoo, they have doubled. Contraceptive brands have doubled their advertisement budget. They're making money off you killing the man's children. And how come so many white people dancing now in commercials? Remember when white people did normal, nice commercials? Now everybody's dancing. They becoming like what they hate. They are becoming like what they hate. And believe me, they want you to be angry. They're encouraging you to be angry. Because anger is evil, and anyone that has anger has fear, and they are blind and can't see. They're pushing it now like I've never seen it before. Even the churches are pushing you to be angry. They said anger is from Jesus' anger. They lie, but they said they're pushing anger, pushing the devil's religion. They're pushing the devil's religion. The government's doing it. The churches are doing it. Family members are doing it. The so-called experts are doing it. It's the number one religion in America now. Anger is. Because anger is evil. Reuters is reporting that here's Barack Obama urging young people to pressure their leader to do more to combat climate change. Watch this compilation.
Is that the most important energy in this movement is coming from young people. They have more stake in this fight than anybody else. And you've been bombarded with warnings about what the future will look like if you don't address climate change. And meanwhile, you've grown up watching many of the adults who are in positions to do something about it either act like the problem doesn't exist or refuse to make the hard decisions necessary to address it. And that's a source of real anxiety and real anger at older people. And that's why my message to young people begins with acknowledging you are right to be frustrated.
No,
I
you're
want
not.
you to stay angry.
See there?
I want you
That's
to
the devil.
stay frustrated.
Wow.
But channel that anger. Harness that frustration. Keep pushing harder and harder for more and more.
Amazing, huh? Anyone, that's evil. Barack Obama, the fallen Messiah, is evil for doing that. Because he's worshiping the devil. He supported the devil. He wants you in hell with him. Isn't that amazing? Stay with it. I want you to be angry. I'm telling you, do what you want, but look at your own life for yourself and see what anger has done for you. Do you feel good being angry? Yes, there's some people have a false feeling of feeling good for being angry, but anger is not good, folks. 888-775-3773. Let me go to Canada and talk to Eddie. Eddie, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Eddie. No, Eddie.
Hi, Jesse. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call. Thank you. I'm a huge fan, and we love you in Canada. You have just inspired men all over this country, I can tell you.
Thank you.
So appreciate that. Thank you. So the reason I'm calling, Jesse, just want to ask for some quick advice. I have a 4-year-old child, and been pretty much separated since he was a baby. The mother is just an absolute nightmare. She's an alcoholic. She's combative. She doesn't really take care of the kid properly. So due to that, I separated. There was just no cooperation. But it's just been a nightmare since, just nonstop combat. And, it's really kind of taken a toll on me. I've put in all the effort. I still take him on my days. I've tried Children's Aid multiple times. I've tried police, due to her drinking, right? Because it's been a safety issue. It would be like I'd pick him up on some days and she'd be practically unconscious while the child's just sitting there, right? So I tried the authorities' route, and pretty much in Canada, it's extreme socialist here. There's nothing you can do to protect your child, is what I've learned. So I went the route of trying to talk to some lawyers and, realized if I go the court route, I'm just going to go broke, right? So my question, Jesse, is basically at this point, I feel like there's nothing I can do when my child is with her. How do I just kind of come to terms and let go of this situation that the side that I can't control is what I'm trying to just come to terms with, because it's really affecting my mental health, right? Unable to protect my child.
And
that's kind of where I'm at.
And so you made this baby out of wedlock?
I did, Jesse. It was wrong. I've repented since. It was wrong. I did it the wrong way. And
you said that it's just been hell lately. Are you like, why? In what way is it still hell for you?
Well, it's just, she's drinking heavily still. She doesn't take care of the kid properly. She doesn't cooperate with me on any level, right? So basically, my ability to protect my child in any way when he's not with me, I'm unable to do it. And, she brings all kinds of real deadbeat men around the kid. I've asked her nicely, it's not good for his mental health. She just provokes me nonstop when it comes to using pretty much the child as a weapon, right? So, as a father, you want to protect your kid, and that's kind of been an impossibility for me, really. The system's failed me when I've tried to get him help.
And so seeing that is an impossibility, why haven't you already given up on it?
I kind of have, Jesse, but it's still bothering me so much, right?
Why?
I love my kid. I worry about him all the time.
But if you loved him, it wouldn't be bothering you.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's what I think that's where I'm at, right? I'm just struggling with that every day, going, okay, there's nothing you can do here.
So you agree with me that if you loved him, it would not be bothering you?
How do you mean, Jesse?
If you loved your son, it would not be bothering you what's happening.
I haven't thought of it that way, but yeah, I think you're right. I think that's.
And why do you think I'm right? Why do you think I'm right about that? What do I mean by that?
Well, I think what you mean is, I gotta accept and just try to stay healthy myself, so I can, be strong and take care of him when I need to. Pretty much, right?
No, what I mean is that if you love him, it would not be bothering you. But the fact that it's bothering you, you do not love him because it's about you.
Oh, I see, Jesse. That makes sense.
Because love, there's no pain when you have real love at all, and you're not. If you have real love, you're not bothered by anything that happens.
I understand, Jesse. Yeah, that makes sense.
And why does that make sense to you?
Well, it makes sense because I realize what you're saying, and you're right. Like, it can't be about me. I think all this worry, you're right. It's probably making it about myself in some ways too. And
it's totally about you. That's why it's about your ego. It's about you, and you're arguing and fighting with this woman, and it's all about her. She doesn't love him either.
No.
And so it's just two devils fighting over ego reason. Neither love the kid.
Yeah. I understand. I feel like I do. I mean, but
love is not a feeling.
Okay.
Hate is a feeling. So the feeling of love that you have, that's not real love. That comes from hate. That's come from anger.
And what about all this worry I have, Jesse?
It comes from anger. That doesn't exist.
That makes sense. that makes sense because I do get angry a lot about this, and I'm trying. I know that's wrong, Jesse. I'm trying not to, right?
And you're trying not to how?
Just to go about my business and try to cut. I know all thoughts are lies, so I try to cut out the lies when I have these thoughts. Distract myself. I'll try to do other things and block it out as best. I know that's the devil, and I know I shouldn't have those thoughts. Right? They keep coming in my head, so I do your silent prayer
every morning, every night.
I try, but sometimes I miss it.
Do you do it every morning, every night?
No, not right now.
Then
I do.
How are you
have
expecting to overcome anger if you don't do it?
That's true.
No, that was
need
a
to
question.
do it every morning. No, I understand. I have to do it every morning, every night.
How are you expecting to overcome anger if you don't do it?
Yes, you're right. I can't overcome it if I'm not. I can't if I'm not doing it, right? Can't overcome
Have
anger.
you forgiven your mother?
Oh, yes.
You went to her?
Big time. Oh, yes.
How did that go?
Yes. She didn't understand. She fought it, like most of them do.
What did you say to her?
Well, I basically said, I forgive you for screwing us all up as kids and being selfish and, accepting that.
And
because she did. She definitely did.
Why do you think she did not understand it?
Selfish and evil.
But she did understand it. She just pretended not to.
She heard
understand
me
it.
out. She heard me out, but she kind of argued too, right?
And the reason she argued because she heard you. She understood it. She just didn't want to admit it.
Yes. She didn't want to admit it. No.
And did you forgive your father for not protecting you from her?
No, I didn't, Jesse.
Why not?
I probably should. I didn't think of that. I just kind of focused on my mom, but I should do that too because he didn't. No, he definitely did not protect us from.
Here's what I recommend, Eddie. You do the silent prayer morning and night.
Okay.
Forgive your father. You say you've already forgiven your mother. Forgive your father.
Did not.
Because right now you're just two blind people arguing with one another, and it's never going to work out well. When you're blind like that, you're going to always make the wrong decisions. You're going to always. It's impossible not to when you're blind. So do the silent prayer so you can see what to do with this situation, and stop arguing with this woman. If you have a time where you can be with your son, pick your son up and just be right so he can see the difference between you and his mother. And as he get older, he'll see who he want to be with.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Can I just ask you one last thing?
Yeah.
Is there a time a guy should consider giving up on his son, or just keep fighting when it comes to seeing him? And
there is never, ever, 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 but never, 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 ever, ever, ever time to fight.
Okay.
Fighting.
But I mean, like keeping your son in your life, like.
I mean, if it happened naturally, then it should work. But if it's not happening naturally, I would drop it.
Okay. That's exactly what I was wondering.
But I want you to see it for yourself, not just because I said it. Because right now you're emotional, and then if you do drop it while you're emotional, you're going to say, well, I just did it because Jesse told me to. You need to see it for yourself.
That makes sense, yeah.
But there's never a time to fight. There's always a time to let go.
Okay, that makes sense. I needed to hear that, Jesse. I really appreciate that.
But I want you to see it for yourself, not just because I said it, all right?
I know, I understand, for sure.
All right, Ed, I wish you well, man.
Thank you. Thank you for the advice, Jesse. Appreciate
all right, buddy.
it.
Okay. Take care now. I got to take a quick break. 888-77-53773. Back in a moment. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true. It's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. Okay, folks, welcome back. 888-7753-773. There's now one line open. You want to jump in there? Quick announcement. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. The Hake, Hake report.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at 12 noon today, a brand new episode of the Fallen State.tv. Very interesting discussion with Marquise. And Marquise is a businessman, a rapper, and a podcaster. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state?
Most definitely.
Your generation of women completely out of control.
Women gonna do what they think men like. Everybody wanna be loved. To my understanding, God left responsibility to the man.
Everybody and their mama have big butts.
Yeah.
White women used to have nice.
Yeah.
No, they walk around with big butts.
They lust on different levels.
When they sit down, look like they sit on a yoga ball. Amazing. The FallenState.tv today at 12 noon. And you can support the Fallen State there by going to the FallenState.tv/donate. And on locals.com. Locals. Thank you all in advance. And then at 4 p.m., Flying High with the Anchor Baby. The Anchor Baby Show. The American Anchor Baby. At 4 p.m. on Fridays. 4 p.m. And he's flying high, not off fentanyl, not off pot, but off natural energy. At 4 p.m. And I forgot the treasure chest is now open on D-Live. Nice. Let me take Tony real fast, and then we get to your other calls and super chats and the biblical question here. Tony out of California, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Justin. How you be today, sir?
All this well, Tony.
Wonderful, wonderful. I was just inquiring about the Republican Party trying to shut the government down. Don't they? Well, they realize that they're hurting people, working people, the military people, schools, and children, and people of less fortunate. I mean, why do the Republicans always want to hurt America? Why is this, Jesse?
My producer want to respond to that first.
Sure.
Sean.
Yeah, I mean,
and the expert here on the show.
Like Jesse says, quite often we have a one-party system, and it's us versus them. It's not a Republican Democrat division. It's a us versus them. So it's not like one party's better or the other party's better. They both are bad for America at this point in time.
Okay.
And they need to add to that. They need to shut down the government. Unfortunately, the rhinos are not going to do it, but they should, and they should not be intimidated by the Democrat. They should shut it down.
Okay,
because we're
ask y'all
tired
a
of
question
spending
then?
money on daycare and illegal aliens and all that. So they should shut it down, Tony, and never open it up again.
Okay, so when Trump was in office and y'all had the Senate and the House, y'all instead the government got shut down.
Did you hear what I said about they should shut it down?
I mean, you want to hurt the children, but you say.
Did you hear me? You hear me
abortion.
say they should shut it down?
Yeah, I hear you. You saying never open up again.
Right.
But the thing is, you talk about abortion. You shouldn't have abortion, but you talk about the children.
What about
No
the children?
daycare. No schools for the children. No decent schools for the children. No teacher programs or teacher jobs no more.
Are you saying that?
What did you want, Jesse? You say you want your country back for the
I
last
don't understand
32
what
years.
you're saying. Are you saying that by shutting the government down, it's
You are
going to
hurting
destroy?
American people.
What?
You are hurting
But what do you mean
American
about?
people.
I don't understand what you mean about the schools and all that.
Well, the schools funded. It's not going to be funded. That's what I'm saying,
Nice.
Jesse.
Nice.
Nice.
That's
So where's
that's
the
all the
education,
more the
Jesse?
reason they should shut it down.
Where's
And
the
then the
education,
mamas will stay home and teach and raise the man children for him.
Well, if the mama ain't got no education, how's she going to raise a child, in Jesse?
You don't need education to raise a child. What the?
She don't need no education?
What do you say?
Oh, Tony, you're an older fellow. Not old, but older.
How you know you're not old?
Oh, it's
I'm
just
not old, Jesse. I'm not your age, Jesse.
older man. If you don't see what's going on by now, there's nothing that we're gonna say on this show that's gonna convince you anyway, one way or the other. There's just nothing we're gonna say. So if you don't see what's going on by now,
Tony, you're not even listening.
I am listening.
No, you're not. You're talking while he's talking.
Well, I want Charles to understand something.
No, listen to him, Tony. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
You didn't even hear what he said.
yeah. What did I say?
Go ahead. Excuse me?
What did I just say?
You were saying how the country is going. I want you to understand.
You're not even listening, Tony.
Okay. Go ahead, Charles. I'll go listen. Then I got something for you to sizzle on to understand this too.
No, Tony, I'm just saying for an older fellow like you, who's been around for some time now, you've already made up your mind, so nothing we're going to say on this show is going to convince you of anything. You've been calling in for quite a while, and so I'm not expecting me to say something right now that's going to convince you of anything. You're not looking to have your mind change. You already made up your mind.
Plus, black people love the government anyway, so I can understand why you are for the government, because you want the government taking care of the blacks.
Jesse, it's not this.
Hate want to respond to it, Tony. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead, Jesse. Jesus Christ.
Whoa, I disavow that. Taking our Lord and Savior's name in vain.
Yeah, okay. If you want to believe that, that's on you, brother.
Why don't the Democrats agree with the Republicans? Then the government wouldn't have to shut down. They could just cooperate.
It's all about greed for the Republicans. It's all about money for the Republicans.
No, that's not the answer.
It's all about money.
If it was all about money, why don't the Democrats just agree? It takes two to tango.
The thing is, we're trying to help people. This country, that was the
What do you mean we trying to help? You work for the government?
Is he a Democrat in the government?
You work for the government, Tony?
That's it.
Did Gavin Newsom replace?
He's like, we trying to help y'all.
You're not a black woman, Tony. You're not going to be senator.
And Tony, what's wrong with the blacks? They can't raise and take care of themselves.
What you talking about, Jesse?
You said that
people with this propaganda about black people. Black people are doing.
You
very
said
well.
that y'all need the government to. You said y'all need the government to raise your children, to educate them. And you said that the mothers, the black mothers, are not smart enough to raise their own children.
Yes, sir.
It's the uneducated mother that know how to raise children, not the educated one.
I did not say nothing like that, Jesse. So stop lying like you always.
But it's
do.
the blacks that rely on the government.
It's not the blacks. It's white people too, Jesse.
But it's mostly black.
No, that's a lie, Jesse.
Look at you! You fighting for the government. You fight to keep the government open.
That's fortunate than you and I.
Tony, you fight. That's not true.
It is true.
No, it's not.
You see, you don't want to speak the truth.
That's not true, though. How are there less fortunate black people than you and me?
How?
Yeah.
Because you got poverty, Jesse. Even when you was coming, you was
You
in
got
poverty.
what now?
When you grew up,
What is
you grew up in
poverty?
poverty.
What is poverty?
Excuse me?
What is it?
What is it?
No, what is it?
You grew up in it. You know
What
what
is
it is.
poverty,
Being
Tony?
less,
What is
Being
poverty?
on food stamps. Being out there trying to sell crops and to
Tony,
survive.
what is poverty?
It's being poor, Jesse.
And so there are black people that are poor?
The people of all color are poor.
In what way are they poor?
They don't have the resources. They don't have
Like,
the education.
what is it that they don't have?
Education, Jesse.
But how is educated
Yes,
poverty?
education.
How is the lack of education poverty?
How the lack? Because you want to shut the government down. That's
Look how
it's lack.
dumb the people are with the education.
Well, hey, you got Jesse. Once again, you know about the dumb people because you talk to them every day.
Look how do you explain dumb people like Barack Obama and others?
No. How you call Barack Obama dumb when he was your president?
No, he wasn't.
He was your president, Jesse.
He was never my president,
Yes, he was.
Tony.
Yes, he was. You lived in this country.
He was never my president.
You lived in this country, right?
No, he was never. I didn't vote for him. He was never my president.
Okay, if you want to believe that, that's on you. But he was your president too.
No, he wasn't.
Because he helped your program.
Tony,
and your
do you agree with me? Do you agree that uneducated women are smarter than the educated ones?
In some aspects.
I rest my case.
It's all depends on the individual, Jesse.
Tony, what's wrong with the blacks when they hungry? They break into a computer store and steal computer stuff. Do they eat the cell phone
Those are
stuff?
children, Jesse. Those are juveniles doing that, Jesse.
Those are thugs.
No. There are
Those were
juveniles.
black thugs.
No, that's another lie, Jesse.
Tony,
Tell the
what's
truth,
wrong with the blacks that when they hungry they eat computers?
They're not eating computers, Jesse. Stop with the foolishness.
That's what they said. You heard they
don't
need
say nothing but
reparations.
The white boys, when they lose a college game, they go out there and tear the whole town up and flipping cars and stuff. You
Tony,
don't say nothing about that.
Tony, they said that they need reparations because they're hungry.
Oh, come on, Jesse. Come on, man. Why don't you keep a real conversation, man?
Tony, you didn't hear the soundbite where they said that people are hungry?
Yes, I heard something like that. Yeah, they are hungry. Maybe they're selling it for
you don't
so they
know
can eat.
it
I don't
by
know.
now.
I don't live in that type of I don't live in that type of atmosphere.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you, buddy. 888-77-53773. So, Nick is coming back in a moment here. He's getting the phone. I want to introduce to those who might not know my experts here on the show, Jesse Lee Peterson Show. We have the Hake Report, James Hake of the Hake Report, an expert here to my far left and your far right. And then my producer and an expert here, Sean. And then Hassan, the audio engineer, and an expert here, and the host of Wow. And he has on an amazing shirt today. The Anchor Baby, the amazing Tar Baby, right?
Best shirt in the game.
And then at my far right and your far left, the American Anchor Baby. Every day except Fridays at 12 noon and Fridays at 4 p.m. Who want to go first with the question, what is real reality?
I'll do it.
Okay. Hake, what is real, the biblical question, what is real reality?
I'm not sure. I think it's the present right now. You're laughing at me, but it's true.
I'm laughing because you're laughing.
I didn't start laughing until you started laughing. I did have a goofy grin.
Right, you did. Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And I I had this stretch, but anyway, yeah.
Is that discomfort I see?
You say real right now?
Yeah.
Is real reality?
It was. Now it is now again.
And you say, Sean?
I say that it It remains to be seen.
Real reality?
Yeah.
Remains to be seen.
It remains to be seen. It's revealed to you, moment by moment. So it's not something you can foresee, and it's not something you can look back and see. It's just, it remains to be seen. It's like living by revelation.
Amazing. And Hassan, what is real reality?
I think real reality is nothing.
Why are you laughing?
I mean, I don't know. It's almost as if this computer froze. Someone broke in. Someone ate it.
You said real reality is nothing?
Yeah, because in real reality, nothing is happening. Nothing is like we're nothing. There is really nothing in reality.
Okay. Amazing. Anchor Baby, what is real reality?
I don't know fully because I still have words that I use to perceive the world. Like I still describe the world and believe my thoughts. So I don't really totally know, but I know what it's not.
What?
Like everything I think about the world. If I could steal some words here and use words to describe
everything
reality.
You think about the world?
Pretty much.
I thought you had the answer when I was on break. You said you left it out of that commercial thing. I thought you had it. Not that you don't have it, but I thought you had it.
Exactly.
What were you talking about out there? What?
This right here.
Oh, you're thinking about that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know what it's not.
That's me. I went to you last. I thought you had the answer.
Dang.
I'm not saying you don't have the answer, but you don't seem confident.
Anticlimactic.
Do I look like I'm looking down at him?
A little bit, yeah.
It does.
Funny. So you said that you don't know what it is, but you know what it's not?
But the reason I don't know what it is because, like, my perception's in the way. Reality already exists, I guess. It has to, right? Right?
Well,
That's a leading question.
That's a leading question. And I disavow. I can't respond to it until Sunday. I just wanted to hear from my experts.
Cool.
It remains to be seen.
That's in the Bible.
What?
What Sean said.
What?
That it remains to be seen.
What did that mean?
I don't know. It was in the Bible.
I know that he doesn't know that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So me and Sean I think are close.
Yeah. Sean and Sean.
You and Sean what?
That's good to know because now I really feel like I'm right. Me and Sean are close.
I have been watching The Chosen.
Uh-huh.
I'm on the last episode of season 1.
Right.
It is really something.
It's amazing.
It really is.
Have you watched it, James?
I've only seen bits and pieces.
Oh, so you have not watched it?
No.
Wow.
I have watched a little, so I have watched it. But I have not watched it in full.
How do you
Just like with real reality, now we know in part, but then we shall see fully, face to face. Now we see it as in a mirror dimly, but then we shall see clearly. I don't know. For now, anyway, our knowledge is imperfect.
What?
That's from the Bible. I was referencing the Bible.
Oh, that's what Sean said.
Yeah, that's why I broke down. Yeah, I was saying that similar to right now we know only in part, and our knowledge is imperfect. But that's why love is so important because love is perfect, but our knowledge will always be imperfect until all is known. So the Bible says stuff like along those lines.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, like we're until we overcome, we won't know what real reality is.
Oh, I see. That what you said?
Kind of.
Roughly.
Repeat it again.
Now we see in a mirror dimly, as in a mirror dimly. But then we shall see face to face. Then I don't know when, but
it says
stuff
and
like
that what
that.
you were referring to?
Not the verse necessarily, but just that general idea.
Yeah. Let me get to Maze, and I want y'all to respond to Maze.
Sweet.
Maze, welcome to the show out of Ohio. Hey, Maze.
Good morning, guys. How are you all today?
Is this Maze?
Yeah.
This is me.
She pulls this accent thing.
She sounds like a Oriental, a Japanese.
Maybe I've been hanging with them this week. Who knows? But that's not why I called. Okay, you got Sean.
She's just happy to talk to us.
Yes.
Excuse me?
Yes.
But the question I want to ask is, when I hear you say, not all, but most.
Right.
Now, you're talking about not all criminals? Now, you're talking about not all good people, but most good people? What group? Because there's different groups that you can say most of them.
Well, I was talking about the blacks.
That's what I'm saying. You said the blacks that commit crimes, you're talking about most of them?
Right.
Because not all people commit, and most black people don't commit crimes. Most black people don't beg. Most black people are not looking for welfare. Most black people want to have things for themselves and not have to work for anybody.
But
they want to
when
make
you
money.
compare the number, percentage of blacks in our country compared to any other race, most blacks are begging.
No.
And they on welfare. They want reparations. They want a riot and stuff like that.
By most, do you mean they're doing it the most?
You don't see most people together. When you see most people together, it's a whole lot of those people that you represent, like Larry Elder. Now, you want to talk about he's trying to help somebody?
Right. Larry tried to help the blacks.
No. Larry committed a crime himself because he fight women, so he ain't trying to tell me nothing.
How is that committing a crime?
Excuse me?
How is that committing a
If
crime?
you would have had him arrested, he would have been in jail. So how can he be trying to tell
What woman he fought? I don't know nothing about Larry fighting women.
But if you don't look up people's history to see what they're doing, and they're going to sit down here and try to tell you what they need to be doing.
But Maze.
And I haven't finished with my question yet.
But you said Larry committed a crime. Larry ain't commit no crime. What the?
He never did anything to his.
History is not necessarily true anyway.
So I put him in the criminal category. So that's one of the most things. And then
Women are more violent toward men than men are toward women.
I'm not saying what is what. I'm saying one person. So James, what Caucasians do? Do they represent you all? Do they represent who you are?
No, because Caucasians don't think in groups like blacks do.
You don't tell me that.
Yes, I do.
I'm thinking group. When did they stop?
Huh?
When did they stop?
They never did.
Okay.
Only the ones in the South, because they were under attack, major attack. Only when whites are under major attack are they starting to identify with the group thing a little.
Oh, so the other three think the same thing? Hassan and Sean and Nick?
Right.
Do you represent
all us fellow whites, we don't think in groups. We're all individuals.
That's not
That's right. We're individuals and we do individual things. So you see a bunch of, just like gangs. Everybody don't belong to a gang. They're not trying to belong to a gang.
So, Maze, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. If I can just quick comment, something I noticed, people call in to dispute this, to say, well, it's not all. Okay, you're saying not all, but most. Someone earlier even asked, you really think it's most, Jesse? And I think people don't understand that. Let's say you show me some stats and you show me that it's not most, over 50% of blacks committing, let's say, violent crime. But the thing is, what we're talking about is even the people not committing violent crimes justify it and add to it. You have people.
I'm not justifying. I'm just.
For example, Maze, you know those videos of parents giving the talk. Wasn't it you who gave your own kids the talk? You didn't commit violent crime, but you see how you add to the whole thing.
Even my brother that's a cop.
But you committed a crime when you talked to your son about the talk.
Me? No, my son just sit back and laugh at you all every day.
No, I said that when you had the talk, you committed a crime.
So how am I committing a crime?
Because you setting your son up to go out and fight with the cop for no reason.
My son know the law.
Well, why you had to have the talk with him then?
Not the law. Either my husband or any man that I know.
Yeah.
My friends too.
So if that's true, why did you have to have a talk with him?
Excuse me?
If that's true,
because in some places you go to, you got loony poon they're gonna harm you. Yes, you do.
Unless you go to the hood.
You're trying to get me off of what I'm trying to ask you all.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, yes, you are. That's what you're trying to go. And then when you say most white people need to have babies.
Right.
What do you mean? Most white people are not having babies or something?
Right. Most white people are not having babies now. And if they do, they only have one or two. We need the white people to have a whole bunch so that they can run their country.
Really?
Yeah.
Country, to you think only people run the country is CWPs, right?
What's CWP?
Caucasian white people.
What?
Caucasian white people.
So
Man, that's
what you
right.
think.
Look at the colored people. Don't they destroy everything?
No.
Yes, they do.
They don't?
They do.
Okay. If
Man,
you say-
call me again.
We got an okay out of her.
Right, we got an okay out of you. That's pretty cool. But man, I gotta run. Thank you. Call me again.
Last supers will be on Monday. We'll read your super chats on Monday from today, from the Fallen State, and from church.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all. We don't have time. I'm sorry. The Hake Report is coming up now. TheHakeReport.com. I gotta go. See you at church on Sunday. The Fallen State at 12. The American Anchor Baby at 4. Get on that straight and narrow path and stay there, folks. No matter what, you stay there. Don't stay in hell with the other folks. All right? Take care. See you on Sunday. Thank you, Sean. Sean put the show together. Don't blame me. Bye. Oh, to the callers, I got to run.
Look, stand up. Stand up, we got fighting to do. We gotta show him who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand in the lose. You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up, man up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa. So you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know thyself so you get something went wrong, but seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. So I asked the question, are you better than a child molester? I've discovered over the 30 years of counseling, the one thing that's missing, and I think because it's not taught in the homes or talked about, we don't have examples of it, right, is love. Our theme this year is to bring back Christianity, to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, our neighbor as ourselves, and to endure. And when you're in a fallen state, people will judge the molester but think they're better than the molester. And I ask, well, why do you think you're better? When I realized it doesn't matter what you think about yourself or how much you have or don't have or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing.
Thank